Hello everyone, let me begin with a simple situation. Imagine that your boss asks you to work on a project but tells you to record your working hours under another project. At first, this seems like a small adjustment or just a normal workplace instruction. But if you think about it carefully, is this really a right thing to do? No. This situation what represents as Peter Paul dilemma. It is a type of ethical dilemma where work are used for one purposes but are reported to another. These situations are more common than we think, especially in professional environment where there is a work pressure to meet deadlines, budgets or targets. Many people may follow such instruction without questioning them, simply because they came from their superior. However, these are most important because they test our integrity and decision making. The choices we make in such situation not only define our professionalism but also define our character. So today, through this presentation, we will explore this dilemma and why it is a problematic and how we should respond to it.
Let us understand what the Peter Paul dilemma actually means. In simple terms, it refers to a situation where work, money or resources are satisfied from one place to another in a misleading way. For simple example, doing work for one client but billing another client for that work. This is actually does not happen randomly. There are several reasons behind it. Sometimes company face budget constraints or project overruns and managers try to adjust accounts to balance things. In other cases, employees may feel pressures to follow instructions without questioning them. Another common reason is the mindset that everyone does it, which makes people believe that such actions are acceptable. However, just because sometimes it is common does not make it right. Even though it may look like a shortcut, it involves misrepresentation and dishonesty. Over time, such practices can become normalized, creating a culture where unethical behavior is ignored or accepted. That is why it is important to clearly understand this concept before we look at its consequences.
Let us discuss why the Peter Paul dilemma is a serious issue here. First, from an ethical perspective, it involves dishonesty. It breaks the trust between the company and the clients because clients are paying for the work which is not being done for them. Trust is a fundamental part of professional relationship, and once it is broken, it is very difficult to rebuild it. Second, there are legal implications. Misreporting work or billing incorrectly can be considered fraud. This can lead to serious consequences such as legal penalties, fines, or even lawsuits against the company. Additionally, employees who are involved in such practices may face disciplinary action, damage to their career, or even job loss. From a business perspective, it also affects the company's reputation. If clients lose trust, the company may lose future projects and opportunities. It also creates a negative work culture where unethical behavior becomes normalized over time. This not only affects individuals but can weaken the overall integrity of the entire organization. So what may appear to be small or harmless action can actually lead to serious ethical, legal and professional consequences.
To better understand this dilemma, let us look at some real life examples. In many IT companies, employees are sometimes asked to bill their working hours to a different client to manage budget or hide project overruns. This is a direct example of Peter Paul dilemma, where work done for one purpose is intentionally reported under another. Where it may help the company in the short term, it is clearly misleading and unethical. Another example is fake expense claims, where employees report personal expense as business expenses. Although it may seem like a small act, it is still dishonest and can create a habit of unethical behavior over time. When such actions are repeated, they can lead to a serious consequences for both the employee and the organization. We can even relate this to our college life. In group projects, sometimes one or two members do most of the work while others contribute very little but still receive equal credit. This is also a form of unfair resource distribution and lack of accountability. It may not involve money, but it still raises ethical concerns. These situations often occur because people assume no one will notice or believe that it is not a big issue. However, even small unethical actions can damage trust within a team. Over time, these can affect teamwork, fairness, and overall performance. These examples show that this dilemma is not limited to companies but can occur in overday situations. Understanding these scenarios help us recognize unethical practices and avoid being part of them in the future. Thank you.
How should we respond if we face such a situation? First, we should always try to clarify instructions. Sometimes there may be a misunderstanding and asking questions can help clear it. If the situation is clearly unethical, it is important to raise concerns politely and professionally. We should not blindly follow the instructions and against ethical standards. Following company policies and maintaining transparency in our work is always very important. Acting with integrity may feel difficult in short term, but it always protects in long term. It is also important to remember that each individual has a responsibility to uphold ethical standards in their work environment. To conclude, the Peter Paul dilemma teaches us that small unethical decisions can lead us to major consequences. In the long run, ethical decisions build trust, respect, and strong professional relationships. Choose integrity today shapes the kind of professional you become tomorrow. Our integrity and reputation are our most valuable assets. So always remember doing the right thing may not always easy, but always worth it. Thank you.